We now have three uses for a class. The first usage is to group variables together. The second usage is to prevent variables from changing to values that we don't want them to be. And the third usage for a class is to provide some sort of convenience to make the caller's life easier. So in this case, we provide a getAllInformation so that the caller can do one call to us rather than three separate calls to get each separate piece of information. So here in the registration function, you can see that the main program used to have to do those statements, grab each of the three pieces of data separately, and then turn around and print them out. But now it can just make one call to get all the information. It turns out that this idea of providing debugging by dumping out all of the data that happens to be in an object happens so often that the Java people decided to give it a name. It's not actually called getAllInformation, but the standard Java function that's used to do this is called toString, which is convert the object to a string, all of its data values. So what we'll do is we'll double click on this name and we'll go to the option that says refactor rename, and we'll change getAllInformation to say toString. The advantage of using refactor rename is that when you go and look at the main program, it's also changed the call in the main program in a separate file, which was the call that actually used that thing. Okay? So if you want to change the names of things, find the menu option for refactor rename, and it works really, really well. So now when you run the program, it runs as we expect. It does work the hard way with those statements, and then it does it the easy way with these statements. This variable here then becomes somewhat useless, so we're just going to take the toString idea and we're going to substitute it directly into the print line statement and eliminate the variable. And that will also still work. We can make one more modification to this. It also turns out that println is smart enough to decide that if you give the name of a variable, you really want to dump out all of its data, and you want to do that by calling the toString. So what we can do is we can actually eliminate the word toString from there, and this is how you'll normally see it, that println will just simply call the toString in this case. So this will also still work. Okay. And remember again that we wrote it this way because this is only used as essentially a debugging output. We'll find a different way to do output in a prettier format that the users might want to see.